Which brings us to my friend Karol Markowicz. She's, of course, a great columnist with the New York Post. And New York, Governor Hochul in New York is doing the same kind of thing there. And Karol has announced that she's leaving. She wrote a great article on Fox News, and she said she's leaving New York. Now, if you know Karol like I do, you know that is a very, very big deal. That's not a small thing for Karol Markowicz to say she's leaving New York. So I had to bring her on and ask her, Karol, why?
It was time for a lot of reasons, but it was absolutely unequivocally because of the COVID lockdowns, mandates, and general insanity that has pushed us out. My husband and I are both lifelong New Yorkers. We both have been living in New York City since we were small children. We were planning to raise our own children here. We had completed our forever house, moved in March 2020. We're never going to leave. And then COVID hit and everyone around us lost their ever loving minds. And look, what you believed in March 2020, April 2020, May 2020, I'm willing to get over all of that. If you believe that the cloth mask that you're wearing made some difference back then, fine. But to continue to believe it into December 2021, and we're seeing no light at the end of the tunnel, and particularly for kids, we have to get out.
Karol, can you give me some idea of, obviously you're there every day talking to everyday people. Can you give me an idea of how much regular people support it? It's not news that New York City's leadership, political leadership, they're a bunch of nutballs.
Right.
New York State's political leadership's a bunch of nutballs.
Yeah.
But what do regular people say? I'm assuming the political leaders feel like they have the consent of the governed.
Yeah. So the problem is that people are really afraid to speak up. So I'll meet people who think this is all crazy, who think that so many of the things that we've done have been insane. And they'll say, but obviously I can't be open about it. I can't even get people to come on the record, when schools were closed and say, I don't think schools should have been closed, even though schools were open all over the country and all over the world. So it's been really tough getting people to not be scared to say that this is insanity and we're living in a crazy situation. The thing is, I think that a lot of New Yorkers do like these policies, that they do want more mandates, that they want tighter protection. And it is a political consideration. They don't want to be like those people who don't do enough to save themselves from COVID. And so I see it all the time. I constantly see people say, we should have brought back indoor mask mandates earlier. The funny thing is that if you ask New Yorkers, so many New Yorkers didn't even know that we didn't have an indoor mask mandate until recently. And yeah, they were wearing it anyway. It didn't make any difference. So yeah, it's really a crazy time.
Karol, as you know, I'm not a New York City hater. I realize that's fashionable on the right, but I'm a New York City lover. I adore the daggone place. I love it. But look, I'll be honest, it sucks now. I used to visit all the time. I can't go anywhere. There's pee everywhere. There's homeless people everywhere. It doesn't feel safe. I can't even eat anywhere because I'm not vaccinated.
Yeah.
It sucks now. I don't want it to suck. I know you're leaving, and I applaud you for the decision. I want it to come back.
Same.
Is there some light at the end of the tunnel I'm not seeing?
I don't think so. So we're leaving pretty soon. And I can't take our kids on like a goodbye tour of New York City restaurants. We can't go to like our favorite places because my kids are not vaccinated. And they've decided that even children have to be vaccinated to eat indoors at restaurants or go to museums or do anything. And I don't see widespread outrage. I also want New York to come back, and I think it will. I really do. I just think that it might be in 10 years, it might be in 15 years. And I have small children, and I can't wait that out. If it were just my husband and me, we might see what happens. We might put up with the pee everywhere and whatever. But because of our kids, we just can't keep them in this crazy place. We have to get them out. I was thinking today, we're hearing all these people from blue states. I mean, Dave Rubin announced he's leaving California. Sohrab Ahmari is leaving New York also. Caitlin Flanagan it wasn't over COVID restrictions, but it was over crime. She's leaving California. But where are the Democrats, liberals leaving red states? Aren't they scared for their lives with the lack of COVID restrictions? Shouldn't they be departing these crazy places that won't put in mask mandates and vaccine mandates and the rest of it? Where are these stories? They can make a big splash this week.